You are having a normal life. No matter how terrible it is or how perfect it is, you just have a normal life. Until you get bored one day and think about going to the pizza tower. You get into your car. Even if you didn't achieve your driver's license yet, you still get into your car and start driving. You finally arrive to the tower and you knock the door. Then Peppino opens you to the door and says, "Who are you?" And you decided to say, "I am," your name. Then you ask Peppino if you can get in. He says yes. When you enter, Pizza Tower Gamer 8 says hello to you, and you say hello back to him. PTDA, after seeing you, falls in love with you. After 1 hour, you ask Peppino if you can live here, and he says yes. Then you go to Pizza Tower Gamer 8's room, and you see PTDA blushing very hard, and you ask him, "PTDA, are you okay?" And PTDA asks you,
"Yes, I'm okay."
And you get closer to PTDA, which makes PTDA grab you and say,
"I have a crush on you, your name."
And you say, "PTDA, what are you doing?" And PTDA answers you,
"I want to stay with you, your name."
And PTDA hugs you tight. You decided to kiss PTDA, and that makes PTDA blush and kisses you back. It's 9 o'clock p.m., and you are getting sleepy. And that makes Henry find out you're getting sleepy and says,
"Hey, your name, can I sleep with you?"
And you say, "Sure, why not?" After that, you get in the bed, and Henry hugs you while you both are sleeping. It's 12 o'clock a.m., and you hear a bang on the door of the tower, and you decide to check, and Mr. Hat asks you,
"Your name, you're coming with me, and I will make you my slave."
Then you try to run at all costs, but then PTD9 catches you and brings you to Mr. Hat's castle. In the morning, Henry wakes and panics and says,
"Your name, where are you?"
And Henry asks everyone urgently to find him, which makes Peppino, S37,000, Geographicals, Gustavo, Pizzel, SSG7, Samgaro 2700, Rabalbal1, and Anton work together to get you back. Peppino says, "Where is your name?" And Rob answers, "He got kidnapped by Mr. Hat last night." And that makes Henry angry and say,
"That evil hat stole my crush."
And everyone goes to Mr. Hat's castle. PTD8 runs very fast and reaches Hat's castle and breaks the door angrily and starts searching for you. And then Alex and Rose say,
"You won't get your name so fast."
And that makes Henry angry and tells everyone to fight them. And then it finds out Henry defeated them. After that, Mr. TTV Head says, "Dr. Mark and Mr. Sanity, we must go to another place. PTD8 has gone cuckoo crazy with your name. We must stop Henry as soon as possible." And they escape. Henry then finds Mr. Hat and says,
"Give me your name back now."
And Mr. Hat calls Dr. Manman and says,
"I'm so close. I have my brother by my side."
And Henry defeats Dr. Manman easily, since he's possessed of you. And Mr. Hat says,
"You're getting cuckoo crazy."
And that makes Mr. Hat run, and Peppino catches Mr. Hat and traps Mr. Hat easily. And then Henry runs to you and says,
"Are you okay, Jonathan?"
And you answer yes. And then Henry and everyone takes you back to the pizza tower. Everyone is having a good day on the tower until Henry asks you,
"Can we go on a date?"
And you say yes, even though you knew him for about hours straight. Then you get into his car and you head to Peppino's Pizzeria. Then you and him get on the pizzeria and sit. Then Peppino says, "What do you want to order, PTD8?" And Henry says,
"Pizza, Peppino."
And Peppino starts making the pizza. Then you and Henry start talking. After a while, Peppino puts the pizza on the table, and you along with Henry start eating the pizza. After you finish, you ask Peppino, "How much does the pizza cost?" And Peppino asks, "It's free since PTD8 is my adoptive brother." And you ask Peppino why, and Peppino says to you,
"It's a long story."
Then you return to the Pizza Tower with Pizza Tower Gamer 8. It's getting late, and you go to Pizza Tower Guys 8's room, and you sleep with Pizza Tower Glitchy 8. Meanwhile, Mr. TTV Head just says to Dr. Mark and Mr. Insanity, "Hey guys, any idea of how to steal your name?" And then Dr. Mark says, "We must create TTV Park and make ads or propaganda near the tower to steal your name." And Mr. TTV Head says that's a good idea, even though it's not a good idea. The next day, you decide to go outside, and you see a poster that says, "TTV Park, come visit now." And he asks the others about the park, and PTD8 says,
"Alright guys, let's go."
And everyone gets in the car and heads to TTV Park, even though nobody knew that this park feels suspicious. When you and the others arrive, everyone gets distracted and start exploring and play all over the park. While you were distracted, Mr. TTV Head grabs you and kidnaps you to his secret lair. After you get kidnapped, Henry gets a bit worried and asks Peppino,
Hey Peppino, have you seen your name?
and Peppino says, sorry, I didn't see him. And the noise yells and screams, a strange TTV Head with medieval claws stole your name. And that makes Henry call everyone to stop getting distracted with the games. But then Mr. Insanity says, everyone, attack PTD8 and Peppino. And PTD8 makes everyone snap out of Mr. Insanity's control and smashes Mr. Insanity. And Peppino says, PTD8, how did you get so strong? And Henry says,
I'll use my full force just to save the one I love.
and then Henry enters the secret lair and sees TV and smashes him. Then TV gets stronger, his arms replaced by a chainsaw, and says, 8, how dare you hurt me? Now you will pay! Then Henry and everyone start fighting Mr. TV, and then TV gets more arms with weapons, and even with that force, everyone start fighting Mr. TV, and the noise accidentally breaks Mr. TV Head's TV screen. Now you will see my full power, TV said angrily, and his TV screen broke, appeared a creepy smile, and gets even more arms and more dangerous weapons, and starts attacking everyone. But that didn't make 8 give up, and then 8 and Peppino start dodging TV's attacks and defeat TV Head, and 8 arrives to the room and saves you. Then 8 asks,
I'm glad you're okay, Ryan.
and you hug 8 tight. And 8 along with you and everyone get in the car and go to Peppino's Pizzeria to celebrate a party. While you and everyone are partying in Peppino's Pizzeria, you find out Henry's not there. And you ask Peppino, hey Peppino, where is Henry? And Peppino answers, I guess PTD8 is in the room. And then you exit Peppino's Pizzeria and go ahead to the pizza tower. And then you see no one is there, because they're all at the party partying. After that, you decide to enter 8's room. Then you see Henry laughing, and you get shocked when Henry has photos about you. And he asks to Henry, hey, are you okay? And Henry grabs you and forces you to look at his eyes and speaks in a possessive tone.
Hey, your name. I'm very crazy about you. You don't have idea how much I love you.
And then you find out 8 is yandere about you, and you try to leave, which makes 8 grab you and say,
Where do you think you're going? You're mine.
Then Peppino enters and says, PTD8, you're way too obsessed with your name. And 8 answers,
But I love your name so much.
while 8 hugs you tight and kisses you, and you say to Peppino, Peppino, calm down, he loves me very much. And then Peppino answers, your name, I know he loves you, but extreme obsession is bad, and we are gonna need to take PTD8 to an asylum so that he gets better for the good. Then Peppino takes Henry to an asylum, and you scream, Henry! And then 8 says,
I'll miss you. Your name.
then Peppino gets Henry to the asylum, and then says,
Peppino, why you want me to stay here? I want to stay with your name.
and Peppino answers, sorry 8, but it's for your own good. I'm letting you go until you control your obsession, but don't worry, I'll bring you a bed, food for you, a TV, and your phone. You start crying in 8's room, and then Pizzelle comes and tries to comfort you. And Pizzelle says in a soft tone, why are you crying your name? And you answer, for how long will 8 stay in that asylum? And Pizzelle says, don't worry, he will stay on that asylum where he controls his obsession. And Pizzelle hugs you, and you hug her back. And you go back to sleep. It's been 7 years since Henry has been in the asylum. You live a normal life in the pizza tower, and you start working at Peppino's Pizzeria along with Peppino. Now you know how to make pizza, you have your own room, and you love to make pizza and rest all day. One day, while you wake up and start showering, you start thinking, wait, how is 8 doing in the asylum? And then after you shower, you take your clothes and run to Peppino's Pizzeria. You enter Peppino's Pizzeria immediately, and Peppino asks you, hey, why in a hurry? And you ask Peppino, how is Henry doing? And Peppino asks, he is coming out today. You can go visit him if you want. And then when you are about to leave, Peppino asks, hey, your name? Can I get you to the asylum if you want? And then you get in Peppino's car. I didn't know he had a car. and he starts driving. After 15 minutes of the drive, Peppino arrives to the asylum and says, "You can visit BT-8. He is finally free from the asylum today. You can go open his door." You open the asylum door, and then Henry looks at you, starts crying of happiness, and hugs you very tight and says,
I missed you a lot. Your name?
and you hug 8 back. Then Peppino says, "8, how are you feeling?" And then Henry says,
Thanks for putting me on his side, Peppino. I learned a lot, and now I know how to love someone correctly.
and Peppino says, "I'm glad you learned your lesson, 8. And then Henry kisses you, and you kiss him back, and you say to PTD8, "I miss you a lot, and I love you, Henry." And Henry answers you,
I love you too, Jonathan.
So the moral of the story is, loving someone is okay, but you should put a love limit, because if you love someone too much, that could lead to obsession. By Henry Lazo.